Hi folks, it's Ed with Ed and G, and today I have some information for you that I think it's going to prove very beneficial, especially if you are an owner of a Gulf Stream Class C motor home. Stay tuned. So we've had our Gulf Stream parked in our garage where we've been building our farmhouse, for probably since March or April. This is August. And we've been using it to kind of camp out in on the weekends while we do our interior work to our home. And you know how you like to start the engine up ever so often? Well, there was about a 2-month period that went by where it actually absolutely slipped my mind, and I didn't start the engine at all. And just last week I went in and tried to start the engine because we wanted to move the camper out of the garage. Wouldn't start. The battery was completely dead, and that's what I want to kind of explain to you. Bear with me, it might take a few minutes, but I think this is going to prove beneficial to you. We've been working on our farmhouse for the last, say, 4 or 5 months. And while we've been working on it, I've had the Conquest parked here in the garage. As soon as the garage was completed, I parked the Conquest in here. And some of the weekends we would come in here and we would camp out over the weekend here where we're building the house, and then that way we would get up early the next morning and go back to work. What I did is I put the emergency brake on and I let the jacks down to stabilize, and I forgot about it. Okay, so it's in August right now, so we first brought it over here about, say, March time frame. Maybe April, but I think it was March. So it's been sitting. What I did is I put the emergency brake on, and time, you know how it is. Sometimes time gets away from you, and the next thing you know, it's been 2 months since I had started the engine, because there for a while I was starting the engine every 3 or 4 days, every week, so whatever. But 2 months elapsed, and I didn't start the engine. Well, last week I came in here and I said, you know, it's been a while since I started the engine, and we wanted to actually, now that it's nice and warm, it's actually hot, and we wanted to pull the camper outside of the garage and turn it around and clean it out and back it in. So the way our plug is set up, that way we can reach the plug in here. We had it wired in. But what I found out was my battery was dead. So the first thing I did was I put it on a jumper cable and tried to jump it with my truck. No success. And then I came and I put it on a charger, and what I noticed was, and it was kind of interesting, now the lights on the side and the tail lights, when I had it on the charger, they would flicker. Okay? Those lights would flicker, and it wouldn't work, it wouldn't jump, it wouldn't charge or anything like that. I left it overnight, came back the next day. The battery was just dead. So I went to GulfStreamOwners.com, GSOwners.com. I posed the question in there. Nobody really seemed to have an answer except this one individual made a comment about, hey, he said, I noticed that when I put my emergency brake on, it caused my battery to drain. And I immediately thought, wait, I've had my emergency brake on for 2 months at least, because we've been so busy working, we didn't move the vehicle, and I forgot to start it. So I said, well, maybe that's what my problem is. I came over here after learning that might be the answer, and I put it on a charger for 24 hours, okay? And then today I came over, took the charger off, put the key in the ignition, and watch this. I only wish that I knew from the beginning. I would have made this video in the beginning if I would have known, but honestly, I was thinking that I was gonna have to buy a new battery. Most of my friends thought I was going to have to buy a new battery, but after the individual and I can't think of his name right off, but I will shout out in the comments when I get back home and find out the individual's name. But I have him to thank for this, GulfStreamOwners.com. And so I'm a believer in those forums. From, you know, when you got issues, and you know, if you go to people who have the same kind of equipment, they might have experienced the same type of issues before, that is who can really help you. And I'm so appreciative of the individual, and I'll name him in the comments, or he can choose to make the comment himself. But I really appreciate him, and I don't have to go buy a new battery. So here's the advice, I suppose. I wish I could say don't use your emergency brake, but I can't really say that. So what it boils down to, Ford Motor Company, because that's who makes this chassis, or Gulfstream, because that's who made this camper. So I'm not really sure who this is going to fall back on, but this is my plea for either Ford Motor Company or Gulfstream camper manufacturer, RV manufacturer. I am kind of pleading with you to come out and issue a recall and rewire these. This is, by the way, I don't know if I told you, this is a 2019. This is a 2019. We have had this camper out for 5 trips. The longest trip we've made in it so far is about 600 miles. We've never had any issues, not major issues. We've some minor things. But I didn't expect my battery to drain because I had my emergency brake on. So this is my plea for the manufacturers of this equipment to come clean and issue a recall so they can fix this. By the way, this is a 2019 Gulf Stream Conquest 6320. It's a 32-foot Class C motorhome. If you don't believe this was an actual issue, go ahead and push your emergency brake on and leave it for several days or weeks and see if your battery is still good. So I hope this has helped somebody. That individual that cued me in on the emergency brake saved me from having to buy a battery, and I appreciate it. Hey, if you like this video and if it helped you, I ask you to please give it a like, make a comment, let me know if we helped you, and then hit that subscribe button. Go back and give a look at what we're doing here. We're building a farmhouse, small one. We're empty nesters, and we're trying to build a farmhouse. I want to try to retire so we can enjoy each other, enjoy life a little bit better, a little bit more, with a little bit more freedom. That's what the goal is. We're building a farmhouse, and you can see all of the stuff that we've done in the farmhouse so far. I'm not a carpenter, I'm not a professional, I'm not a good videographer, but I do my best, and we're trying to just share our a story here with what's going on. Give us a thumbs up. Hope you enjoyed this. Thanks.